fourth chapter of Dr. Carney's book moves from Magna Carta to modern money. It begins with King John and ends with Alan Turing. The chapter is structured around a historic parallel, or even parable, discussing key changes made to the mission of the Bank of England in 1998 within a context large enough to include the signing of Magna Carta in 1215. What do these two moments have to say to each other and us at the uncertain dawn of post-pandemic economic recovery? The signing of Magna Carta on June 15th, 1215, so its anniversary is today, is frequently credited with inaugurating modern democracy. Dr. Carney advances the argument that this historic moment arose not so much from lofty political innovations as from a very real economic crisis. He outlines several factors leading up to this vaunted showdown on Runnymede Green between King John and his fractious barons. These factors include an inflationary recoinage, the squandering of enormous sums on the craze of crusading in the Holy Land, England's territorial losses on the continent, and notably the barons' own financial creativity, having discovered they could starve the king of land rents through aggressive domain consolidation. It was this ultimately economic standoff between king and power-holding subjects that catalyzed, Carney argues, Magna Carta's pivotal advance toward equitable distribution of sovereignty. The signing of Magna Carta as foretaste of holding state power accountable is memorably shown in this chapter to have monetary, economic, and infrastructural considerations at its core. As Dr. Carney points out, only 4 of the 63 original clauses of Magna Carta remain law in Britain. Much of the document deals in minute demands, including greater navigability on the River Thames, through the removal of pesky fish weirs. Reframing Magna Carta's legacy as originating in economics rather than political philosophy, Dr. Carney finds, quote, the enduring legacy of Magna Carta is how its strictures on unconstrained power are still reflected in our systems of political and economic governance. So as I see it, the parable here asks us to consider how, in our era, pressing financial crises may yet be harboring windows of opportunity for redesigning the distribution of corporate rights, government obligations, unpriced social values, and collective accountability that might, centuries later, be touted another turning point in the expansion of human rights and flourishing. As a professor of literary theory, I have special admiration for compelling historical allegories, such as the one drawn in this chapter. Dr. Carney shows how this legendary moment in a meadow with truculent King John presages future developments not only in human rights law, expressly modeled on Magna Carta, but also in economic policy. The chapter moves to discuss the financial aftermath of 1992's Black Wednesday on British markets. Like the disruptive losses to King John's treasury, this event, Carney argues, led to a Magna Carta-like moment for Britain's banking system. The ensuing Bank of England Act in 1998 caused the bank to operate henceforth under constrained rather than unfettered discretion. As Carney writes, at last the spirit of the Magna Carta had made it to monetary policy. What I take from this chapter is this, ultimately. All who rally to sustain the ideals of human dignity and freedom from oppression should be heartened by just how much can come from attending to the humble, infrastructural, sensible tasks like the distribution of fish weirs. Thank you.